Little quick abbreviated arm work, and then I will talk a little bit about bringing Bonsi to this overhead position and playing with movement in the arm. We'll do some pin and stretch review, and then we'll put Bonsi on her side, okay? So I'm gonna try to go pretty quickly, pretty cursory, just to like, I'm not gonna show you anything new right now. So raise your hand, ask questions if they come up, okay? So I like to pin at the armpit, not like this. I'm not gonna put my hand on her chest. I'm gonna put my hand on her arm and my pinky in her armpit so that I can expose the arm. Pick the arm up. This already is like, this is pretty good. I think this is pretty therapeutic and I can do it for a long time. Just holding my client's arm and just being like, check it out. Bonsi likes to guard, right? Right, Bonsi?
A little.
Yeah, she does sometimes. And I think just this proprioception of like, here's your arm and here's what it feels like to relax your arm and let somebody else move it around. And when I'm holding her arm above the elbow and below the elbow and at the wrist like this, and I'm just sort of like when I first picked her up, I felt her kind of go, here you go. And then I went like, and now she's just not. She's just like really letting me have her arm, and it's really nice. And I'm able to navigate like the bend at the elbow here with one free hand. I have this hand that I can like do structure specific massage with. But this hand and just this elbow to waist, I'm not crushing her hand. I'm just letting it rest in this little crook. And I can just have her arm. Got a little lean back, I can give her a little traction. Not bad, right, Bonsi? Like, I can just kind of hang with this arm. So I think it's not a bad idea to practice just like holding your client's arm. You'll see that in your Swedish gymnastics in the leg too, like holding your client's leg. You don't have to do a lot of fancy stuff. You can just sort of like take their weight for them and hold it, because we can't really do that by ourselves and it feels really nice. So I'm gonna let this be a valuable part of my practice, just holding the arm. And then I'm gonna play with like, okay, what if I'm just holding here? I'm kind of exploring her natural range, and where this elbow goes up here, I start to see that she rolls open. So I don't wanna take her too far here, especially if she's got some shoulder injuries. Do you see what I'm saying here? If I'm shaking her here and I'm bringing her into abduction, as I go higher, she's gonna start to compensate. Her shoulder's gonna go into lateral rotation, and I can feel that pull happen a little bit up through here, and that's what I'm exploring with this movement. So as I get here, I need to like switch position so that I'm not just like pulling her into this unsupported lateral rotation. This might be okay, but I kind of want to support her here. I want to make it like a supported lateral rotation. I can do pin and stretch here. But as I'm bringing her into abduction, once her shoulder starts to compensate and say like, okay, I can't really do pure abduction anymore, that's when I want to scoop and bring her into this overhead position, okay?
Question?
Yeah.
What do you mean by compensate?
Maybe it's like use a different joint motion to allow for the arm to go there.
Yeah, or the tissues, the structures that I'm softening and shortening, they're gonna start to, or the tissues that I'm lengthening, some of them are like not gonna have access to this, so
Got you.
I'm having a hard time using my words here.
Okay.
And would you do the wiggle thing after the, what do you do that in the sequence?
Whenever I decide I want to move this arm overhead in the sequence, hi Mike. Whenever I'm in the sequence, if I'm doing the sequence purely, right, I do my effleurage, I do my petrissage of the upper arm, I do my biceps friction, and then I do my triceps effleurage.
Do a little wiggle in between that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But anytime I want to move the arm, which could be any time in my massage, that's what I'm playing with this. I want to go back to compensation. Do you all understand what I'm saying when I say I'm trying to bring her into abduction, the shoulder's moving, and then I get to a point where the shoulder has to rotate? it's like, it's not happening for me anymore, I gotta go into rotation.
Mm.
That's what I'm feeling for and watching for, and that's when I wanna flip or invert her to this overhead position, okay? And here too, I can just play with like, some people aren't gonna be comfortable in this square position, that's too much rotation for their shoulder, so I'm gonna have to compensate and hold them a little bit here, or adjust, compromise.
Gotcha.
Compromise.
Compromise, yeah. How's that feeling, Bonsi?
A little bit like Traeger.
Yeah, it's Traegery as hell.